Welcome back to High School Backups Podcast. My name is Jake. I'm here with Kyle, and we're doing another extra episode for you guys today. And we're going to talk about college basketball recruiting. Specifically, we're going to look at the top classes heading into next year, who's got, the best classes. Specifically looking at, Bronny James, high-profile recruit who hasn't committed yet. We'll probably talk a little bit on Mikey Williams, the social media star who's committed to Memphis. We'll talk about, just overall who's got the best classes, who's going where the high-profile guys going. And, we can jump right into it, Kyle. Specifically, we're going to look at Kentucky first because they have signed 4 of the top 11 players in the country, and all 4 of the players that they have signed are the number one players at their position across the United States, according to ESPN. First and foremost,
damn those blue bloods, man! Come on.
We're gonna first and foremost talk about the number 1 guard in the country, the number 2 player, DJ Wagner, who is also committed to Kentucky, obviously, like we were talking about. DJ Wagner was the number 1 player in the country for a long time until other University of Kentucky signee Justin Edwards jumped him in the ESPN rankings. Aaron Bradshaw, the number 1 center in the country, who plays alongside DJ Wagner at Camden High School in Camden, New Jersey, is also committed to Kentucky. And Kentucky also has Robert Dillingham, the number 1 shooting guard in the country, who is also the number 11 player overall in the country. Needless to say, Kentucky's got the best class in the entire nation. And
are they gonna? I have a feeling they're gonna pull a North Carolina and be like top ranked next year and then just fall off.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. They also have another commit who is the number 3 shooting guard in the country and the number 21 player.
I know.
Kentucky's
gonna be really good next year.
It doesn't get any better than what Kentucky has done, having 5 players committed in the top 21. Just think about that. Every 4 players you go down in the top 21 players, Kentucky has one of those dudes. That's absolutely insane. Kentucky's future is looking very, very bright. I believe they moved on from John Calipari's still at Kentucky. I was thinking about Mike Krzyzewski leaving Duke. My bad. John Calipari, he's going to coach these guys. These guys are most likely one-and-done guys, at least the top 3 players we mentioned. And the outlook of college basketball for next season says that this team, as long as they can gel, is going to be really, really good. The number 2 recruiting class in the country is fellow Blue Blood Duke Blue Devils. Their best signee is Mackenzie Mbako from also New Jersey, Newell, New Jersey. He goes to Roselle Catholic High School. He is a 6'8" power forward. They also have Jared McCain, who is the number 2 shooting guard in the country out of Corona, Georgia. And they also have another power forward committed who's 6'8", 230.
Corona, California.
Corona, California. Sorry, I thought I saw a G. I'm looking down. It was real quick.
All good.
Who is out of Windermere, Florida, Montverde Academy. So they have 2 of the top power forwards committed and a shooting guard. Duke's looking good. Honestly, I love that because I am a Duke fan. Roll Blue Devils. Because Boston College is not good at basketball, though roll Eagles. Also, New Hampshire has a shot at making the tournament this year, so roll UNH. If they make it, you know who I'm picking.
Yeah, it's not looking good as it once was, but hey, they still have a shot.
They still have a shot. Michigan State is at number 3. The number 4 recruiting class is a little bit of a surprise because they don't have a top 30 player, but Penny Hardaway has done a really good job recruiting at Memphis. The top player in their class is social media star Mikey Williams, who I would love to talk about a little bit more. I know a lot about his game because, I followed all the stuff on social media. Great 3-point shooter, great on the offensive side of the ball, can finish at the rim. Do you know a lot about Mikey Williams or
not as much actually?
Not as much.
I haven't followed his trend. I know of him. I know some of his highlights, but I haven't followed him as much on social media.
Yeah,
as a lot of other people have.
Honestly, I think if anybody is going to unlock Mikey Williams' potential as an offensive basketball player and as a basketball player overall, I'm kind of glad it's Penny Hardaway. I think that he's going to develop Mikey Williams into being a really good guard at the collegiate level. And honestly, I could see him after his sophomore year declaring for the draft and being a lottery pick. I don't know if it's a few years ago, everybody thought he was going to be the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft. I don't think it's going to be that high at this point, but I think he can declare after his sophomore season and be a lottery pick.
I'm not too surprised from what I've heard about him. He is really great. He is
He's
a really
great.
good
He's
shooter.
great.
And going to Memphis in the American Conference is going to be a lot of fun because they don't really have a lot of competition in that conference.
Listen,
really,
we said the same thing about Amani Bates a couple years ago, and dude is now
I-
playing at Eastern Michigan. So,
no,
balling out at Eastern Michigan, but playing at Eastern Michigan.
the American Conference is. I don't even know if I can consider it a mid-major. It's not a major. It's not a Power 5 conference, but it's not a mid-major.
It's somewhere in between. Yeah, it's somewhere in between.
Because they have good teams that compete in the tournament every year, like Memphis, like Houston, like Cincinnati, but they never really can solidify themselves.
They never put it all together. They never put it all together.
So when you can get a top 50 prospect in the country to come play in your conference, that is going to be good, especially when it's not the number one team in the conference in Houston, right? So it's going to be a very interesting outlook for Memphis, and I'm kind of excited to see that next year.
Oh, I'm very excited. I mean, I actually really do like college basketball. I know I don't follow it as much as you probably do. I follow a lot of the recruiting stuff more because I like to see where players go and who's got the best outlook and stuff like that. But speaking of teams that, normally aren't great, the Oregon Ducks have the 5th best recruiting class in the country. Their best player is the number 13 player in the class, a power forward by the name of Kwame Evans.
Ooh, he went to Oregon?
He's
committed to Oregon?
Yeah, he's committed to Oregon.
Ooh,
He's a 6'9", 200-pound power forward who honestly can shoot the lights out of the basketball. Oregon's offense is going to be great. You have UConn at number 6. I know our friend Austin would be incredibly happy to hear that. Kyle, you are probably not as happy.
No,
And in classic UConn fashion, their number 1 commit is a point guard who is the number 15 player in the class, and it's Kemba time.
Shout out to a New Hampshire student from Brewster Academy in New Hampshire school here is committed to UConn. So I saw a couple of his games. Solomon Ball is the number 55 ranked player right now in the country, which is awesome to be able to say, hey, I saw him play. That would be
That's
so
sick,
cool.
actually, though.
That's gonna be so cool to be able to say, if he gets drafted in the NBA, it's like, hey, I saw him in high school.
There are a couple guys every few years that come out of New Hampshire that are really good. I know Noah Vonleh. I know he was Massachusetts, but I think he played at Brewster in New Hampshire. He played somewhere in New Hampshire.
I think it was Donovan Mitchell went to Brewster.
There's zero shot that Donovan Mitchell went to Brewster Academy.
Want to bet? Want to bet?
I don't, but there's zero shot that Donovan Mitchell was playing in New Hampshire the same time that we were there, and just
Donovan Mitchell, high school, Brewster Academy in Wolfboro, New Hampshire.
Bro, that's nuts.
Dude, Brewster Academy is subtly one of the best schools in the country. They're so subtly
that's nuts, dude.
I looked this up because my boss coaches one of Brewster's schools that they play in the Holderness School.
Yeah.
So my boss coaches at the Holderness School, and we were looking it up, and Brewster Academy is the 6th best prep school for basketball in the nation.
Bro, that's nuts. Who would have thought that you're just chilling in Wolfboro, New Hampshire? Bro, the next time I'm up there, we gotta just go catch a game. That'll be hilarious.
No, absolutely. I'd be down.
100%. Man. The number 7 team in the country, by the way, is the Ohio State Buckeyes, whose best commit is Scotty Middleton, the number 24 player in the country. This is the second team, or the third team on here that has a shot at signing uncommitted recruit Bronny James. The other two are Memphis and Oregon, from what I can tell. His crystal ball has a bunch of different teams on it. I believe UCLA, Ohio State, Memphis, Oregon are all in that top 4. I will tell you who he has offers from in a very few moments here. Iowa State is at number 8. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say Bronny James's offers are from Kentucky, Memphis, Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, and USC.
Oh, wow. All right. So he does have more offers than I thought he did.
Yeah.
Iowa State, not Ohio. Iowa State is at number 8, and they have in-state recruit Omaha Bailu as their top recruit. He is the number 10 recruit in the entire country. Iowa State actually continues to rise. Their basketball program is on the rise, and this is a team that should be on people's radar coming up down the line. Probably next year or the year after. This is going to be a very, very good college basketball team. They already are
the
now,
big
but they're getting better.
the Big 12 is the best college basketball conference. Yeah, I will die on that hill
I'm fine with
arguing
that.
it's always enjoyable seeing teams from the Big 12 have big recruiting classes like this because it just will continue to solidify their time in like their fight. Like and Iowa State, I think is really going to grow
Yeah.
more as it comes out in the Big 12. Because the Big 12 gets very underlooked a lot in other sports. Like they get underlooked in football, they get underlooked in hockey.
Well, it's because they can't play defensive football, and I don't think they're great at hockey.
They're not. But
Listen,
I'm
the
just
Big Ten
saying.
and the ACC. Well, it's not the ACC in hockey, is it?
No,
No, it's not it's not the ACC in hockey because
it's the Big Ten's the big one in hockey.
yeah. Then you have like BU and BC playing in
Yep.
whatever conference they play, and I forget what it's called
The
in hockey.
the Hockey East.
Yeah, the Hockey East.
Yes.
Roll
but, like,
BC, by the way.
I agree. Roll BC for hockey. I don't say roll BC for much, but I will say it for hockey. Iowa State is growing. They are a top 25 ranked school right now, right? So
Yep.
if they just keep up the recruiting class, they could easily be top 15, top 10 ranked school next year.
Oh, absolutely. To round out the top 10 here on the ESPN rankings, you've got Tennessee and Oklahoma State. Not going to get too in depth there. What we really want to talk about, there are only 4 players left in ESPN Top 100 that haven't declared. I believe National Signing Day is somewhere in early April. They will be declaring soon. Matas Buzelius from Hinsdale, Illinois, has yet to declare. He's a 6'9" small forward. We're going to focus on Bronny James, obviously the most high-profile name in this class, LeBron James' son. And what Bronny could possibly do. The only school he's visited so far is Ohio State. He took an official visit in the fall. He attended a football game, saw the school. Obviously, LeBron is from Ohio, and Bronny has ties to Ohio. He's probably lived in Cleveland for a little bit, considering LeBron played there twice. Memphis, Kentucky, Oregon, UCLA, and USC have all been thrown out. He obviously has ties to Los Angeles. His dad plays there now. I'm pretty sure UCLA and USC got in early in the process. But
USC definitely did.
Yeah.
USC did put in an offer. So, yeah.
And I mean, according to an Athletic article, a lot of people are hesitant to actually give Bronny offers because the talent doesn't necessarily match the media frenzy that comes with him. And that's not to say that Bronny isn't a talented player. He's the number 28 player in the country for a reason. As a matter of fact, he's probably one of the most explosive guards in the country right now. He has a three-point shot. He's got great court vision. He's a combo guard with great court vision. Honestly, reminds me a lot of Chris Paul, but with a better three-point shot. I think he can be somebody like that who has a great feel for the game. Obviously, his dad has taught him the game of basketball since he was a child. So Bronny knows the game of basketball. He's a high IQ player with a great shot and plays ferocious defense. Like he's going to be good. A lot of people are trying to decide whether it's worth the media frenzy of getting Bronny James. At least from what the Athletic article that I read, I don't necessarily think it's that big of a deal. I was
just gonna say.
I would be very happy to get a top 30 player in the country. I don't see it. I would just be very happy to have that.
I was just gonna say, if I had the opportunity to coach one of the best upcoming prospects in the country, not only that, but the son of one of the greatest basketball players to ever play, I would jump on that opportunity in a heartbeat.
The highest overall scorer of all time.
I would do whatever it took to get Bronny James to my school. I don't care if I'm a Division III school. I am at least talking to him. Like, yo, Bronny, come to Plymouth, New Hampshire, real quick. Like, I'm at least having like. How
Bro, Bronny would drop 100 a game in that setting. Come on, dude, don't even play that way.
Exactly, he'd drop 100 a game. That'd be enjoyable. You know how many times did we ever go to a college basketball game at Plymouth State and if Bronny James is there, that would sell out. Bro.
I think I went to one or two. Like I went to a couple. We went to more hockey games though. Plymouth is better at hockey. Like that's
yes, it is. But I'm just saying, like, how do you? To me, with the media frenzy, you can corral that. Like, yeah, it's a lot. It will definitely be intimidating at first, especially for the other players. But when it comes to Division One, there already is a media circus that follows college basketball. There already is a media circus that follows college football. It comes with that territory. Those are the two most
Yeah.
watched sports in the country.
When it
They
comes to
have
college sports, yeah.
exactly. Well, yeah, but they also are the feeding pool for the two biggest leagues in the country
Yeah.
for their respective sports. The media circus is already there. This isn't Bronny James is not the first big time player. We saw it with Zion. We've seen it with the Ball brothers. Like
Dude,
it
I
comes.
like there are so many people watching where Bronny James is gonna go. I don't even know if it compare like I think it's bigger than Zion. Like
I yes, this is probably the biggest that we've seen, especially with how social media has blown up
yeah.
over the past 10 years. Like obviously with the Ball brothers and Zion, like they were the biggest recruits at the time, and Bronny James is obviously bigger than them. But like this isn't the first time that we have seen
That
a
is not to
big
say that Bronny is better than Zion as a basketball player. It just means the
no, that's
social
not.
media frenzy like is
Yes,
bigger.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I'm clarifying. But like
This
honestly,
isn't the first time. This won't be the last time. There's going to be bigger recruits that come in the future. Like,
I'm
that's
not
just going to be natural with the growth of social media. So, like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm Penny Hardaway and I can get Bronny playing point and Mikey
yo,
playing the two, I'm ecstatic. I'm not gonna
could
lie to
you
you. Like,
imagine that?
first and foremost, that would just be a
Oh,
media frenzy for the University of Memphis. They'd have a grand old time with that. But
they
also,
would love
again, that's a former NBA point guard that can help Bronny develop into an NBA point guard. And I think it would be beneficial for him to end up at a place like Memphis. And I mean, I think him and Mikey being alternate ball handlers and, you know, when one sits, one's on the floor, different things like that, I think they could work together in the backcourt. And it would look a lot like Dame and CJ in the NBA, whereas Memphis would have a really dominant backcourt if that happens, especially in 2 years' time when they're both sophomores. I don't necessarily think Bronny James is a one and done guy either. Again, kind of needs to develop a little bit more. Maybe he bursts onto the scene and is better than everybody thinks he is now. Next year as a freshman and he can be a one and done guy. I think he's going to be a sophomore by the time he has to declare. And if we got 2 years of Mikey and Bronny in the backcourt at Memphis, I think that can deliver you a national title if you put the right pieces around it.
the Memphis recruitment is about to go through the roof. Like like the recruitment office at Memphis University is about to. We can't say no to enough people. You're gonna have too many letters coming in from like Memphis is going to have a time of their life, especially like I said before when we were talking about it with Mikey. We're playing in the American Conference. I don't even know the official but whatever the official title of the conference.
I think it's the American Athletic Conference.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They're playing in the sixth, maybe seventh best college basketball conference.
Yeah,
because you have the Big East in there, which is better than the American is, and you also have the A10 as well. So like, and you also have the West Coast Conference for basketball. So like, they may even be ninth or eighth realistically, if you really get down to it, depending on it. And if you can get two of the biggest names, the social media names, like that is huge for your school, for your conference. Like if I'm even the athletic conference, if I'm a school in that, like if I'm Cincinnati or I'm Houston, I'm kind of scared that they're even their names even mentioned. Like I wouldn't want to play them. Like Houston's been a Final Four candidate the past couple of years. Like Houston's the number one ranked school in the country right now. Or actually, I don't know if they still are. Actually,
they were at one point this year.
They were at one point. Yes. It might still be Alabama, actually. I haven't checked what it is. But, like, regardless...
Like, best case scenario, huge. As a fan, I think Memphis would be fun. I think UCLA would be cool. I think Oregon would be nice. Obviously, going to Ohio State would make a lot of sense. LeBron, there's ties to Ohio State, whatever it is. For me, personally, I would like to see him end up at Memphis alongside Mikey Williams. I think that would be so fun to watch.
But it is Houston, by the way. Houston is number one.
Yeah. Kyle, anything else to add?
No, just I'm excited. I did find out when signing day is. It is April 12th.
Wow, I was right on.
April 12th is signing day, so we'll keep an eye out for that. So that's coming up soon. Yeah, I'm excited. right after the Final Four and the championship game for March Madness, so that's not long.
And
That's
right
like
before the NFL draft. We actually are going to have a lot to talk about. I love this.
it's gonna be fun. All right.
On that note, guys, thanks for watching. If you watched the entire video, you're awesome. We appreciate you. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, click the bell, make sure you get the notifications. Make sure to go follow us on all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. High School Backups on all three. And on that note, we appreciate you. Peace.